Hey y'all, today I am reviewing a 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot PVC enclosure produced by Cage's Custom Reptile Enclosures. If you're looking for a great reptile enclosure from a quality company, then you really need to check out this review.
You are watching Reptile Mountain TV. Evidence-based, captive-bred, and animal-focused.
Welcome to Reptile Mountain TV. I'm TC Houston, a former professional AZA zookeeper and reptile breeder with over 30 years of experience keeping reptiles in captivity. Yay me! No, seriously, that 30 years part, it matters because as you might imagine, reptile caging and that industry, especially the items that are commercially available, have changed since the late 1980s. And I can say that this review is based on experience with nearly every cage type there has been over the years, from custom wood and melamine vivariums to all glass and acrylic aquariums, or the modular plastics of like Neotische and Vision, and also the contemporary PVC enclosures popular today. I have used them all over the years in the hobby and profession, and therefore, when I compare this enclosure today, I'm doing so with a foundation that is rock solid in real-world applications. Alrighty then, disclosure time! Cage's Custom Reptile Enclosures, who can be found at reptilecages.com with a K, they are my channel's sponsor, and they have provided me with this product for free in exchange for my honest review. Now, I've spoken with Zach, one of the owners, and he said, he and I have agreed that my review today will be my own words and free of influence. Today, I'm going to go over 4 categories and rate each category from 1 to 5, 1 being terrible and 5 being fantastic. Those 4 categories are packaging and shipping, assembly and construction, function and design, and last but not least, pricing. Now let's jump right in with packaging and shipping. So shipping wise, this came and arrived approximately 10 days after ordering it, which is pretty awesome. And Cage's promises that they will ship out their products between 5 to 10 business days. So this one actually was probably shipped out in 5 days, and it took a few days to get here, but it arrived within 10 days of ordering it. Now I've already opened the box, and I've actually cut some of the plastic off. So this is on here to protect it. We'll get this out of here. Alright, and then we have this, and I just cut the little saran that's holding it all together. And we're going to go ahead and unpack this, and I'll show you each little piece. We'll go from there. In this category, I give this enclosure a true 5 out of 5 for being the best. Packaging was excellent, nothing damaged, and more importantly, the timeliness in which it arrived makes it rise above the competition to be the best from my perspective. There are other great PVC enclosure companies, and they are backed up with orders so bad at times that someone's going to have to order 3 to 4 months prior to actually needing the enclosure to get it on time. To me, that shows that, yeah, they might be really quality, however, the company is not scaling in a timely fashion to ensure that their business is meeting the needs. So I know Reptile Cages is scaling appropriately, and that means that they can ensure that their customers get the enclosure they want shipped out within 5 to 10 business days. Outstanding. 5 out of 5. Next, we need to review assembly and construction. Now, the instructions were simple to follow, and it was very easy to build. It only took 50 minutes, and that could have been shortened if not for user error. So based on the incredible ease of assembly and the quality of how it all went together, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5 as well. I'm saying it's the best because of the stickers, actually. Now, those stickers were used to instruct placement during assembly. Now, I've constructed items from the competition before, and although there were stickers indicating what piece was what with the competition, there were not stickers indicating how each piece should be placed like what Reptile Cages has done. Now, that fundamental and easy item made it more simplified and removed more margin of error. Now, despite all my experiences, I still am a walking, talking opportunity for error, so anything that helps me succeed is great. So, good job, guys. Okay, let's go over function and design. Size-wise, this is by far one of the most popular and versatile enclosure sizes around. This size works so well for so many different species of reptiles, and it is of course a popular size for many blue tongue skink keepers. And if you know me, those blueies are my bread and butter. So let's go over this from, the bottom up. As far as the bottom flooring goes, I love that I had the option to add a recessed heat tape area. This is an excellent feature that allows for ground heat when needed. Now, I know many people will say, reptiles don't use ground heat, they need radiant heat from above. Well, yes and no. Many reptiles do not only utilize natural radiant heat, but also utilize ground heat for thermal regulation. Once a sunlit area has stopped being heated by the sun, it can stay warm for hours afterwards. Many reptiles will use this remaining ground heat to control their body temps and maintain proper metabolic rates or preserve heat and energy for nocturnal hunting. Not to mention that many species will burrow down to get warmer ground at night to avoid cooler night air. This feature allows for keepers to replicate that behavior with ease, and I love it. I also love that there is a cutout for a thermostat, which is absolutely mandatory essential for proper husbandry. Next, the litter guard and lower sliding glass tray. I really like how deep this is. As you can see, I've provided 2 inches of substrate for my Gidgee skinks, and they're not really burrowers, and then there's still tons of room. This is much deeper than other manufacturers' litter guards, allowing for a deeper substrate and a ground layer that's not going to get into the sliding glass part. And this is perfect for folks who like doing bioactive setups. Now the back is stylish, and I really like the vent style. It looks sleek and classy, and I appreciate the holes for the cords and the extra holes for adding fixtures, which I did because I needed to add UV lighting for my skinks. And now the top is rock solid, and the placement of the overhead ceramic fixture worked perfectly to provide a good thermal gradient for my Gidgee skinks from 125 degrees Fahrenheit in the basking zone down to 80 on the cool side, on the cool end during the daylight hours. Now this range is over 45 degrees of gradient. That's amazing. The front top with logo is amazing. It's a lizard and not a snake. Not that I don't like snakes, it's just always about snakes, so finally a lizard. And it makes it very sturdy, and it's thick enough to hide the lighting except for that big 80-watt floodlight. Now the plastic glass fits perfectly and slides with ease, which is something that is not always the case with these types of enclosures. I remember when working in the Venomous lab in college that there were times when some of the enclosures were 2-people enclosures. Not because the snake was exceptionally dangerous, but rather because it took 2 people to literally manhandle the glass on that stupid sliding enclosure. And it just didn't fit right. So I love when these things slide smooth like this one. There's one function there that I have an issue with, and it's that plastic glass. I understand and respect that plastic glass is more resistant to shattering and is safer in that respect. I understand that it is lighter and it ships cheaper and it doesn't break, there's less liability. I get it. However, I've had countless cages with this type of clear front, and when they are used with animals that have claws, then they end up getting scratched, and eventually they need replaced more often than real glass due to the blurring from all the scratching. It almost looks foggy. Also, from a functionality point, do you see this here? See how it bends? See, I couldn't necessarily recommend this enclosure for like a strong python that, although it would fit in the enclosure appropriately, it might be too strong because it could easily bend this and maybe even pop it open. I don't know. Of course, this is an easy design fix, and all you'd have to do is add a stop plate on the outside or have a groove cut so that the glass can just slide a little bit further in and hold it exceptionally sturdy. So considering the multiple positives that are way better than the competition, and that one negative about the glass in my perspective, I'm going to give this function and design a 4.5 out of 5. I love this thing. I mean, take a look at how wonderful it looks for these Gidgee skinks. They are thriving beyond belief in this setup. I am so happy to have this in my home. Most reptile keepers love providing more than what is required for their animals. And this enclosure has certainly allowed me to do that for these special, spiky little creatures. Now, last but not least is pricing. So currently, the primary competition charges around $339 plus $60 shipping for a similar enclosure. This cage retails at $395 plus $55 shipping, but is currently on sale the week following this review for $330 plus $55 in shipping. Therefore, at this time, the price is cheaper, and thus it's going to get a 5 out of 5. So the rounded total score is 4.9 out of 5. So do I recommend this enclosure and this company? Yes, absolutely. This product is outstanding, and I am thrilled to have one in my home. I've said that already. Now, I find that Zach and Rose, the owners, are not only respectable business people, but they are also generous, and they really care about their products, the customers, and this community, including the main characters, our animals. So go check out their website at reptilecages.com with a K and let them know that you saw this review. So thank you all for watching. Thank you to Reptile Cages for this amazing enclosure and the opportunity to review this product. Thank you to my patrons for your support. And as always, remember, opinion is not fact.